Great. So good evening once again, and thank you for joining me. In tonight's meeting, we will be talking very briefly about how to not just survive, but thrive in the Nigerian economy. And we will be looking at practical strategies for managing and multiplying your income. You will agree with me that there are three assignments that each and every one of us has to carry out money. We have to make it, we have to manage it, multiply it. If we do not succeed in doing these two assignments, we will not be completely financially. The confidence that you have over your finance is in the area of your being able to make, manage, and multiply your income. So if you know how to make and you know how to manage, but you don't know how to multiply, you are not completely financially competent. If you know how to make, you know how to multiply, but you don't know how to manage. As a matter of fact, managing is a prerequisite for multiplication. If you cannot manage the money you make, you will not have enough as capital for you to begin the process of multiplication of your income. These and many more are what we'll be talking about during tonight's meeting. So without further ado, let us dive right. Let us begin with an introduction. And then for that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take you to my YouTube channel. I'm going to play a short video. And
my name is John Bose.
Welcome to Surge Trader, where profitable traders can capitalize on their skills and amplify their returns with a real.
My name is John Bose. I'm a regional manager for Skyward Community Nigeria. I'm a social welfare officer with the Ministry of Social Development and Gender Issues in Edo State. I'm an alumnus of the Teach for Nigerian Fellowship. I am the founder of the Elite 21 initiative. And I'm a freelance network marketer with close on a decade of experience and 3 car awards to my credit. What I do is that I show interested individuals how to escape the rat race, how to earn passive income, how to become co-owners of multinational companies valued in several billions in dollars. I am dedicated to continuous self-improvement, and I am happy to work with you. Thank you.
Sorry to interrupt you. We can't hear you.
number of applications open and there are application interference. But let me see if my. So confirm if you can hear me.
Yes.
Thank you for that feedback. Awesome. So I said I was going to be using this tool for tonight's presentation, and we'll be talking about how to survive the Nigerian economy, and we'll be focusing on the strategies for making, managing, and multiplying your income. So let us start with. Okay, it's a bit bigger. Let me just scale it down. Let us start with making money. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there are 4 ways that we make money. 4 ways. You can write that down. If you did not come to tonight's meeting with a note, this is a very good time to get one, to get a notepad and to take down some notes. So now there are 4 ways that you make money. The first 2 are grouped under what I call the active income category. Then the next 2 are grouped under what I call the passive income category. I'm going to explain these categories as the meeting progresses. Now, under the active income category, we have the employed quadrants and the self-employed quadrant. By the way, this is from the book Cash Flow Quadrants by the author, Robert Kiyosaki. Now, in his book, he talked about how we make money in different quadrants. He talked about the employee quadrant, where people sell their time in exchange for money. He talked about the self-employed quadrants, where people still sell their time in exchange for money. The only difference being that in the employee quadrant, you sell your time to your job. So you have a job where you sell your time in exchange for money. But in the self-employed quadrant, you sell your time to your clients. So you have a client, say you are a lawyer, a legal practitioner, or you are a investor, or you have a skill that you sell in exchange for money. You render that skill or you render that service to a client, and the client pays you for your skill or your knowledge. And in exchange, you are trading that time to that client and getting paid money for it. The good thing or the important thing to note about the active income category is that the income follows your performance of an activity. You can write that down. Your income follows the performance of an activity. As soon as you stop performing that activity, that income will stop. So note that down. Active income, as the name implies, follows the performance of an activity. When we stop the activity, the income will stop. Now, we are talking about the employed and the self-employed under the active income category. We also have the passive income category. Someone's mic is turned on. Can we please turn off our mic? I have a participant with the mic on, and that is O-A-J-U-H-A Daniel. Please turn off your mic. Thank you. All right, so like I stated earlier, the passive income category has 2 quadrants under this category. We have the big business quadrant and the investment quadrant. Now, what is a big business? A big business is a business that is built on leverage. You build it on the basis of leverage. Someone's mic is turned on. I would love it if you could turn off your mic, please. Thank you. I don't have a moderator on this session, so I need someone to help. Okay, I think I'm going to have to just give me a minute. I will have to moderate, so I will have to make one of my phone a co-host. As a result of that, I will be able to moderate the session. Or you can assist me by just putting off your mic, which will be way easier. Because this now has to take us back to the meeting and the settings, which I would have just prepared not to. But give me about 2 to 3 minutes to walk around this so that I can properly moderate the meeting. Meanwhile, the person whose mic is turned on, Mr. ATK Daniel, can you kindly just mute your mic, please? you're having trouble finding the microphone icon, you can find it at the bottom left of your screen and just mute yourself. But if you are unable to do that, no worries, I will do that for you in a minute. Let me just make my other phone a host, and then all right. Confirm that you can hear me by typing in the chat box. Don't unmute yourself, just type in the chat box that you can hear me. Can I get the feedback on that? Can you confirm that you can hear me? Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Sunday. All right, so I'm going to reshare my screen. And we're going to pick up from where we left off. All right, so like I was saying about the big business quadrant, you build it on the basis of leverage. And leverage is when you take other people's resources. It can be their time, it can be their skills, it can be their network, it can be their money. When you take those resources and use it to get results, which will give those resources value. Now, this is what rich people do. That is why rich people prefer not to create a business and work the business. Rather, they create the business and they hire people to work the business so that they themselves can keep their time. Now, the important thing to note in the quadrant of passive income is that people create systems and then these systems pay them after they have stopped performing the activity of creation of those systems. Let me say that again. When we talk about passive income, we are talking about the creation of systems that is actively creating a system that will continue to pay you even after the activity of creating that system has stopped. So that the money that you are getting from that system is coming from work that you have already done. And that is why we call it passive income. And we're talking about big business as one of the things under the passive income category. And I think I explained it already. And if there are confusions, you can just note down your questions and we'll take them after because we have a whole lot to cover tonight. I'm just going to jump into the next quadrant in the passive income category, which is the investment quadrant. Now, ladies and gentlemen, investment is when you use your money to make money for you by putting it into assets. Take note, when you take your money and you put it into assets in order to make more money on it, in other words, you put your money on assignment to bring you more money, you are doing some form of investment. Whether the asset you are buying is a real estate asset, whether you are buying stocks and shares, whether you are buying government bonds, it does not matter as far as you are using your money to buy an asset that increases in value over time, you are investing. If you are following me, type following in the chat box. Now, there are various forms of investment, but the key thing to note is that investment is putting your money in assets that increase the value of that money over time. So your money makes money for you. And it is passive because you are not actively doing something to create increase in the value of that money. In other words, you are keeping your time and yet you are making money even though you are not performing an activity. So in the passive income quadrant, we have big business, we have investment. Now, let us scale down to the next point of tonight's conversation, which is the time and money debate. The time and money debate. Now, in the time and money debate, the question that we ask is between time and money, which is more important? And I want you to respond to that question. Between time and money, Which is more important? So these are two resources that we all have as human beings. We have time and we have money. Which of these is more important for you? And you will also say your reason why you pick that particular answer. So let's have some answers come in the chat box. Time or money? Let's hear you. Type in the chat box. Mr. Jerry, Toby says time. Does anyone else have a different opinion? So let's see what's happening. Someone else, Mr. HK says time. Okay, so I'm just going to agree with you. Yes, the answer to that question is time. And my reason for that is quite simple, because with more time, you can make more money. But with a whole lot more money, you cannot buy a single second of time. You see, time is your limited resource. Time is your only resource that cannot be increased. Money can be increased with time, but time cannot be increased with money. So time is infinitely more valuable than money, which is why it makes sense to figure out ways to save your time. And if you have to use your money to buy your time freedom, then you should. But if you have to use your time to buy money or use your time to make money, like what is happening in the active income category where we have the employee and the self-employed, that is no way to go, because that model does not work. You only have a limited time. And in your limited time, you only have a few years where you are actively able to work for money. And these are known as your productive years. You cannot work at your tender age, neither can you work at old age. You only have a limited amount of time in which you are productive. So if you do not find a way to make sure that during that time you are able to take yourself out of the space of working actively for money and figure out ways to earn passive income, then you would have committed a big money mistake. Because Warren Buffett said, if you do not find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work till you die. And the funny thing is that when you find ways to make money while you sleep, you make more money than those who have to work for money. Let's carry on with our tonight's meeting. Okay, I see that for some reason the slides are a bit bigger than my screen and they are not scaled to the proper proportion. Now, I told you guys that I'm using this tool for the first time, so you will have to forgive me. We are now on our next major point of the money spectrum. We talked about making money, managing money, and multiplying money. So we talked about how money is being made. We talked about the time and money debate. Now we are on the next point of managing money. Now let me tell you the problems of managing money, because we are all Nigerians. I do not have anybody in this call who is not a Nigerian. But going forward, I'm sure we will have more people from other countries join us, because these are sessions that we will be having going on, and we'll be having them either weekly or bi-weekly. Now, let us talk about the problems as they relate to Nigeria, since we only have Nigeria for tonight's call. We have the cost of living crisis. Here in Nigeria, the cost of living crisis spreads across various sectors. We have the Naira depreciation, we have currency inflation, which currently stands at somewhere around 21.7%, if not more. We have the Naira to dollar exchange, which is just crazy high. I'm talking about, we are looking at figures like 918 Naira to a single dollar. And this figure is climbing every single day. So this is worrisome. Now, all of this creates a strain on your finances. There is therefore a need to simultaneously increase your income while reducing your expenses. I'm going to illustrate this by an assumption that I want you to have in your mind. Imagine a tank, yeah? A tank that holds water. I want you currently to have this picture in your mind of a tank that stores water. Now, this can be the tank that you have your borehole tank, any kind of tank, but just imagine a tank. Now, this tank has an outlet where the water goes out through, and it has an inlet where the water comes in from, right? So it has a source and it has supply. So water comes in and water goes out. Now, I want to ask, how do you get your tank to get filled to capacity? Don't bother answering that. I'm going to answer. I'm going to tell you there are only two ways to do that. Either you figure out a way to stop the water that goes out from the tank from leaving, or figure out a way to make sure that the water that comes into the tank is way more than the water that goes out of the tank, to ensure that at any given time there will be tank in your water, and at the point the tank will fill up to capacity and even begin to overflow. If you agree with me, type agree in the comment section. Now, what most people do in Nigeria, which is absolutely wrong, is that they find a way, or they continue to think of ways to reduce expenses. And when they continue to struggle to reduce their expenses, in other words, they are trying to, like the person in the illustration of that tank, you are trying to stop taking water out of the tank. You are trying to reduce the amount of water you take from the tank. And what does that translate to? It literally translates to you reducing your usage of water. So you stop bathing, for example. Your plates are dirty. You don't wash them, for example, because you want to manage your water. You don't want to use the water. You know, you are so, there's a word for it, you are a miser. You know, instead of you to take a transport from one point to another, you prepare to work. You say you are managing your money. There are good ways and bad ways to manage your money. I'm going to tell you about the proper ways to do it. Now, these methods that you try to employ, it's like reducing the amount of water that goes out of the tank. And what that translates to is that you will stop using water for certain things that water is necessary to be used for. So you don't bathe and you start to stink. You don't flush your toilet and it starts to stink. You don't wash your plate and they begin to gather germs. And before you know it, you even fall sick eating from those dirty dishes. So at the end of the day, that is not a very good approach. So trying to reduce your expenses, you are trying to fit in and box yourself into the current economic situation so that your income is fixed and you continue to struggle to adapt to figuring out how you can survive with that income. So you adopt a survival approach. Your approach is you want to struggle to make sure that the money that you earn, no matter how little, is able to cater to your expenses. And even when the cost of living goes up, even when the price of fuel goes up, even when everything you used to buy changes in price, but your income remains fixed, you still figure out a way to struggle, and you want to just fit in. Everybody's trying to fit in. You were made to stand out. Type stand out in the comment section if you know that you are different and you are not meant to fit in, but you are meant to stand out. Type stand out in the comment section. Do that for me. Do that for me. I want to see some energy. Type stand out in the comment section. You're not meant to fit in. You're meant to stand out. Ladies and gentlemen, the other method to adopt in your mind, I'm talking about this is your mind, right? This is something that you tell to yourself, is that you need to figure out ways to add more streams of supply to your tank such that you never need to worry about how much water goes out of your tank, because you know that any water that goes out will be replaced. Any water that goes out will be replaced. So you don't have to think before you pour water in your bucket and take your bath. You don't have to think too much before you pour water in your bucket and wash your dishes. This, what I'm talking about, these are expenses, by the way. This illustration is pouring water in your bucket to take your bath, is taking care of the expenses that show up in your life. So you're driving, and as you're driving, you hear a sound from behind. Somebody has just hit your car. Oh my goodness. How am I going to survive? Where is this money going to come from? You don't have to think that, because your car is insured. And why is your car insured? Because you are ready to pay for insurance. Some people will not pay for insurance because they are trying to manage money. And at the end of the day, when something bad happens, they find themselves in deep shit. You were not meant to fit in. You are made to stand out. Now, ladies and gentlemen, figuring out ways to increase your sources of income is easy to say, but very hard to implement. But tonight, I'm going to show you easy ways to implement methods to earn. And in fact, basically tonight, we're going to be talking about how to try. Somebody said he cannot hear me. Is that unanimous across board, everyone? Or is this unique to this individual? If you cannot hear me, if everyone else, if you can hear me, just type I can hear you or something. Type yes, give me a feedback if you can hear me so that we can know if it is the person who just joined who cannot hear me, so she can maybe tune in. Okay, so Miss Anne, this is what you're gonna do. She would not hear me. Can somebody please direct her in the chat box of how to turn on her microphone? At the bottom right, is it right or left of your screen, you will find the join audio, and then turn on join via cellular network. Somebody should please direct her in the chat box. All right, guys. So like I mentioned, somebody should help her. She still says she cannot hear me. Somebody should help her. Can somebody type in the chat box and direct Miss Anne on how to join the audio? Now, some of us are not very familiar with the Zoom application, but can somebody assist me in directing her? Mr. Jerry, can you kindly do that? Thank you. All right, so now, like I was saying, the solution is number one, to ensure that the money that comes to you is properly budgeted. See, I'm going to have to sit up and talk to you very sincerely. I'm not going to come here and tell you that figure out ways to increase your sources of income and just leave it at that. See, the first thing you need to do is that the one you are making, even if it's one source that you are earning from, budget that money. The problem we have is that you don't have a budget. In fact, the problem you have is that you don't have a budget. So because you don't have a budget, anything that comes, you just begin to pay and do, and you live your financial life is not planned. As a result of the lack of planning in your finances, you find yourself running into difficulties months in and months out. Sometimes you are borrowing to offset bills. You are borrowing. In fact, you are borrowing with no strategy or plan for repayment. And every month you find yourself repeating the same pattern of borrowing, and you're borrowing from all the people that are willing to loan you money. Now you're not using the applications like loan, fair money to borrow. And it gets embarrassing because some of us receive messages that certain friends of ours or people who have our contact details have borrowed and how they are being looked for, chased around by the application. And the loan sharks are sending messages like such and such individual is on the run. I don't know how many of you have gotten such messages. They will tell you that the person stole company money. And I always wonder that the transaction was between you and them. You borrowed money, and then you and this individual transacted, and then a third party just happened to be in contact on the phone of this individual. You're not telling me about it. And sometimes they'll tell you that you should tell the person to pay the money. I just wonder how those things go. But this is what happens. As a matter of fact, I was in my office one day, and a colleague of mine was downloading an application in front of me, and it was a loan application. And he already had several of them. So basically, he had borrowed several places, and then he was looking for a new one to use. So this is what people do. It's not a joke. People who live on a fixed income, oh my goodness. Anytime their expenses change by a factor, maybe because of the increase in the price of fuel, maybe because of the price of dollar, maybe because of any kind of change that affects or puts more pressure on their income, they have to figure out ways to borrow to survive. Survival is not the strategy. You need to figure out how to try it. Number one, budgeting. What is budgeting? Budgeting is simply taking account of how much you plan to spend at the beginning of the month on every single category of expense that you know you have a financial responsibility to attend to. Did I say that too fast? Did I say it again? Budgeting is at the beginning of the month, planning how much you plan to spend on every single category of expense that you know that you have to cater to. Now, there are certain things that you will not know, certain emergencies, but if you have a proper budget, your budget will attend to emergencies as well. Now, you may say, I don't have so much money. How much am I going to use to budget? What am I going to? Let me tell you something. You can budget based on percentage. Hello? If you are with me, type following in the comment section. And please, I want to be sure, as Ms. Anne been able to join the audio, is she now able to hear us? Ms. Anne, can you give us that feedback if you can hear us? Can you just type if you can hear us? Have you been able to follow the instructions to join the audio? So give us a feedback, let us know that you're with us. Now, like I said, for budgeting, it's a very important and integral element of your financial planning. Now, another part of your financial planning is making some savings. Now, let me tell you something about saving. You do not save what is left after spending. You do not save what is left after spending. Instead, you should spend what is left after saving. Please write this down somewhere. Write this down somewhere. Do not spend what is left after, do not save what is left after spending, because there will be nothing left. There will be nothing left. Rather, spend what is left after saving. This is wisdom that you must abide by. See, financial planning is discipline. Financial planning is you telling yourself, I will not go beyond certain borders, and drawing the borders by yourself. When you get an income, this is what you can conveniently do. Say your income is 200,000, 2 million, 20,000, no matter how much your income is. You may say, it's small money now, what will this one even do? This is what you can do. Take a pen, take a paper, and note down how much percentage of this income should go into saving. That's the first thing. Take a percentage and save. There should be several categories of savings. You should have savings for emergency, savings for investment, and several categories. But let me not talk about those categories. We will dwell too much on that. Let's just say, take a percentage of your income and commit it to savings. And then after you have taken out your savings, you can now begin to look at the rest of that income for certain expenses. Now, it's important to also take care of certain needs like your insurance. You know, some people don't take it too seriously, but these are things that you should talk about, like planning your, well, for those who are married, you need to have already had a plan for your children's, the expenses that you will have to attend to for your children. And you know, if you have a very, very well laid out plan, you should even have something like a legacy to leave to them. You know, and you have to actually create like a trust fund where you just put money and you just leave it there for your children's sake, because you're not going to live forever. So you have to have some kind of legacy that you are leaving or building for them. It can either be an investment, a trust fund, whatever. But I'm telling you, this can go very, very broad. But let us just narrow it down to savings and expenses, and forget about things like saving for retirement or making investments for your children. Let's just leave all those other ones out and focus on just two, so that it's not too overwhelming or cumbersome for you. We just talk about your basic savings. Maybe that can be like maybe 30% or 20% of your income, the percentage that you are comfortable with. And then we talk about your expenses. So you take out your savings and then the rest is left for expenses. Now, in that lot for expenses, you have categories of things that you spend money on. You buy food, they spend on transportation. Give me examples. Type in the comment section, what are your major expenses in a month? What are the things that you spend money on? So these categories, you know how they are for you. You know which one takes the most money. How much do you spend on groceries in a month? How much do you spend on transportation in a month? How much do you spend on emergencies like sending money out as gifts in a month? Maybe people ask you, perhaps you have a sick old mom you are taking care of, and you send some money every month to take care of her in the village, and she's taking care of health challenges. You know, you have a certain amount of money you send every month, you budget for it. So all of these, the gifts that you do, the charity that you do, the expenses that you incur, the transportation, the light bill, the airtime, every single one should have a percentage. So when you list out the percentage, that tells you exactly how much you can spend on each category. By budgeting, you are telling yourself how much you can rationally spend on each category. So if you are earning, for example, 200,000, and your percentage of money that goes into grocery shopping in a month is 10% of your income, that tells you already that you are spending 20,000 naira in that month for feeding. Am I making sense? If I'm making sense, type making sense in the comment section. Now, if you earn 2 million naira and your 10% of grocery shopping, or let's say you don't need 10% to grocery shop because 2 million naira is a lot of money. So you probably do, let's say, 5% that goes into grocery shopping. You will then know how much you can spend. Your budget tells you practically, without any partiality, how much you, not me, you can spend in a category. When you have a budget, do you know what it helps you do? It helps you avoid stupid eventuality. Let me give you an example of a stupid eventuality. Sorry, I'm using the word stupid. Somebody just calls you. Hello? Yes, well, something just happened though. Yes, I just had an accident to my car, I'm stranded. I just need 50,000 naira. Can you? Your budget tells you whether you can. Do you have a budget for it? Well, I've looked through, or you give them an answer like this. Let me look through my budget and see if I can sort that from any of the categories. So you go to your budget, you check miscellaneous. There is no 50,000 anywhere for miscellaneous expenses. You check gifts that you want to do charity. The budget for charity cannot come out. Then you reach back to this person and say, I'm sorry, I've looked at my budget and there's no way I can source that money from. How does that answer sound? That person calling you, do you know that if next month they have another emergency and they remember that the answer you gave them last month, you told them you had a budget, they will say, Mr. John, if I call him now, he will tell me again about his budget. Then let me look for someone else to call. Do you know what you have just done? You have avoided the stupid. People crash into your, when you don't have a financial plan, another person's plan becomes your reality. They say if you do not make a plan, and if you don't plan, you plan. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Let me tell you, in your finances, if you do not plan your finances, you will fall into another person's financial plan. And if their plan for you that month is that you help them repair their car, that's exactly what you will do with your money. Am I making sense? Am I communicating? Have you experienced this in your own personal finance? That you don't have a plan, somebody just jumps up and it becomes your plan. You are in the office, somebody just tells you, hey, come and buy my house, baby. Or you are added to a group committee of friends and well-wishers, and they say, oh, you start contributing, I want to get married. You want to get married? They're serious. We do this thing a lot. You want to get married? Did you plan? Thank God. Sorry, I'm laughing. I should not laugh. This is something serious. Sorry, let me straighten my face. And well, but you know that this is happening. True or false? I'm sure you would agree with me that this is true. This is true. It happens to most of us. It happens to all of us. As a matter of fact, it's happening to some people now as we are speaking. Come for my wedding, before you know you are paying transportation that you did not budget for. It was not in your budget. Okay, tell me about it a month before so that I can plan for it in my budget. Does it make sense? So budgeting is a rigorous process of discipline. You will disappoint people if you have a budget. You will disappoint yourself. That thing you used to pass and you just buy impromptu, you did not plan it to, but it looks so fine. I just buy. You will no longer do that. all those impromptu spending, you will be thorough. You see, you will let me not bore you too much. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. Okay, so first of all, before you even begin to budget, you need to track what you are doing with your money. Because if you don't track, you will just think that you are being financially okay, you are doing well. You are not doing well if you do not know. You need to know. So sometimes go to your bank statement and go and check. Go and check. Because some of you are doing badly, but you don't know because you are not checking. So do something today, yeah? Download your statement of accounts from the major bank account you use. You can do it across all the banks that you use, but use the major bank account you use. Download it. From January, this is September, January this year till this 2nd of September. Look at all the inflows and look at the outflows and check whether you are doing very well in managing your money. Let's leave it there. Now, if you do well enough in the savings department, the next thing is investing. I'm going to say this. You do not save money for the sake of having savings. Why? Because of inflation. Inflation will eat the value of your money. You need to invest. You need to invest. Investing is non-negotiable. Investing is not what you do when you feel like you are feeling happy. You now feel like, oh, let me invest. No, investing is a necessity. It is not an optional aspect of your financial planning. It is a necessity in your financial planning process. A necessity, never to be ignored. Don't play with investment. See, let me show you something. I'm sharing my screen, yeah? Let me go and show you something very annoying. Very annoying. I say very annoying because this is happening to all of us right now. Let me show you this. Let us just go on Google. In fact, let me do it on my phone so that it will not look as though, Nigeria's inflation rate. Let us check that out. And I'm going to show you what that means for your income. Nigeria's inflation rate today. Are you seeing this? Okay. Current inflation rate of Nigeria. This was July 2023. You see that 24.08%. And this information is coming from the tradingeconomics.com. So let us work with 24.08%. I want to take you to what this means for you if you save your money. You don't invest, just save your money. Now, I'm going to say, let us assume you save 1 million naira. And your 1 million naira, inflation means that it loses value up to 24.08% every year. 24.08%. So let us look at that for a 4-year or a 5-year period. So in year 1, your money loses 24.08% in value. Not the figure will still show 1 million, and that's why most people don't bother about inflation. But the value after the first year is 759,200 naira. After the second year, 24.0, that's if the inflation figure remains the same, of which it won't, it will actually increase. But let us assume that it remains the same. If you lose another 24.08%, year 2, this is going to be the value of your money. If you lose again in year 3, 24.08%, this will be the value of your money after 3 years. If in year 4 you lose another 24.08%, this will be the value of your money in 4 years. And if in the 5th year you lose another 24.08%, 24.08%, the value of your 1 million naira 5 years ago with 24.08% constant inflation rate will be 252,220 naira. The only thing that your 1 million will be able to buy for you is what 252,220 naira could buy 5 years ago. Do you understand now that if you just carry your money and save it, you are doing yourself a huge disservice? That's exactly what I wanted you to see. Now, savings versus investment. Which one should you do? Type in the comment section. Let me see. If you people are actually learning something from tonight's meeting, what should you do with your money? So that when people tell you, come and invest, it's not as if they can say, somebody wants to scam me, let me keep this money, I will save it, I will not touch it. And all this scam and they have come again, they want me to invest. They don't want you to invest. They want you to invest. As a matter of fact, if somebody tells you about an investment opportunity, the first thing is to do is be grateful to God for them, for even showing it to you. If a legitimate business or investment opportunity is presented to you, it is because of the fact that somebody somewhere is thinking about investment enough to actually make research and then find out something good and even bring it to you. So you should be grateful for those people who take the job of recommending meaningful business and important investment opportunities to people who do not struggle to go and find that information by themselves. Hello? So this is exactly how you should feel, because investment is not something you should, it's not a negotiable thing. Maybe before now, when the income of an individual can actually tend to its monthly expenses, inflation was not so high. You know, maybe we could play with the subject of investing, but no longer. No longer. All right, then let's move on, because I think we've dwelled too much on this particular subject matter. Still have a lot to cover. So these are the parts of your financial planning, and it relates to managing money. Now, I don't want to just talk. I want to give you the tools that you can begin to implement today to manage your money. Hello, who would like it if I give you right now one of the tools that I use to track my monthly expense, and another tool that I use to budget, record, and actually give a thorough picture of what my financial outlook looks like in a month? Who would like if I drop that in the chat box? You would love that. Type love it. You would love that. Let me get a response. Let me see. In the chat box, I want to see your feedback. Awesome, Mr. Jerry. So, yes, I'm going to drop two tools, just two, that I use. I use one to track and I use one to budget. So the first one, let me drop it in the chat box. This is the first one. Let me show it to you. Look at it here. You see, I have finance. See, under this finance, there are a lot of tools there. I have my bank, they are there. I have cryptocurrency wallets, they are there. I have trackers. See, I have investment tools. These ones, they are meant for investing in the stock market. Bamboo and Trove, you probably know of them. This one, RZX Finance. This one is the one that I use for a holistic outlay of my finances. This one carries all of the wallets where I earn an income. I have them laid out. You have your budget. See the budget there? That's your budget. You make your budget, and then you spread it over the course of the month. This is just a demo. I haven't actually started to impute the figures. Then we have, if you have given out a loan or you have taken a loan, you put that there, you have that there. All your accounts where money entered, from where you end, look at, just imagine. Imagine you have all these many places where money comes into. How can you say your tank is not getting water when you have sources like this? So go and look for sources for your income. Make sure you have sources of income. Okay? Now, when you want to impute a transaction, it can be either an expense or it can be perhaps an income. You put that in this transaction field. So you can go play around with this, learn how to use it. But this tool is called RZX Finance. It gives you a holistic picture of your budget. You can create your budget, and then when you put your report, when you click on reports and you select the period, it will give you a thorough breakdown of what you have been doing with your money. This is for your budgeting and recording of your expenses. Now, this tool is very, very, very useful to you. So I'm going to get out the link to this on Play Store. It's called RZ Finance, and I'm going to drop the link in the chat box so that you can download it either during this meeting or after this meeting. RZ Finance. I'm going to take the link to this And I'm going to copy that. If you are getting value from this webinar, just type value in the chat box. If you are getting value, type value in the chat box. Okay, where is the chat box? Let me just drop that so you can download this application. Okay. Now, let me also give you another tool. This one, I use it for tracking. This one, we call it just expenses. Look at it. This tool, I used it, and it actually shocked me last month to see just how badly I was doing financially. Last month was, I was terrible. In fact, I almost beat myself up because of what I saw that I did last month in my finances. It was horrible, and it was also humbling. this was last month, August. Look at that. Look at what I did in August. Every single day, my average daily expense. Are you seeing that? Average daily expense was around 59,405 naira every single day in the month of August. I had a total inflow of about 19, and I spent 18 out of that. I had a balance of 52,166. It was crazy, but I would not beat myself up too much because look, most of that went into transactions. So don't want to think I was see. Most of these were USDT purchases, transactions for people, you know. So that was the largest category. Then the other one was the sales of bonuses and commissions for SWC. Then there was peer-to-peer USDT sales. So most of it was transactional, you know. So all of this, ladies and gentlemen, this helps me record and keep a very thorough, you know, handle on what I am doing with my money so that I will know just exactly how I am performing. Now, I'm showing this information, which really I shouldn't be. But those of you who know me well enough, you know that I'm an open book. I tell you as plainly and as simply and as truthfully as I possibly can. This is because I am interested in your own growth, your own development. In any stage of my journey, I try to carry as many people along and try to empower them with the information that I have. And most of the times I do this, I also make recommendations of things that I use that help me, like this just expense that I just showed you, which I use as a tracker for how well I am doing in my finances. It's a tool that I would also recommend to you and give you a link to download it. Are they paying me to do this? Hell no. But it helps me, and I know that it can help you as well. Sorry, I think I sent the link to Alex Finance twice. I'm trying to send the link to just expense. Okay. All right, so that is copied and pasted. I asked if you were getting value, and one person typed yes. Am I only giving value to one person? Is the rest of the persons in this group not getting value from what is being discussed and what is being shared? Please tell me, is my time here being wasted on you? I certainly hope not. All right, then let us go back into the presentation. I had to pause to give you this because I know that somebody out there needs this to be able to have a proper handle on their finances. Because I'm not just having this session with you in order to let's just play cash cruise and go back to how we used to live life. No, we're about to make thorough decisions to change the outcome of our financial landscape. And this is exactly what we'll be doing. See, use those tools. Don't just have them in your phone. Actually use them. If you don't know how to use them, go on YouTube. Go and check tutorials on how to use just expense, outlets, financial, find videos. Watch them and learn. All right, so let's continue. We talked about financial planning. We talked about saving. We talked about budgeting. And we have given tools that you can start using today to properly plan and manage your finances. And yes, you say you are getting value from the webinar. So I'm happy to be here and I'm happy to spend this time with you. And I'm happy to host you this tonight's webinar. And I'm also very grateful for those of you that showed up. But it's not easy to leave what you're doing and actually come out for a webinar like this. So thank you. Now, let us talk about the most important part of tonight's meeting, which is, for me, multiplying your income. multiplying your income so that you can have at any given time several sources of income. And let me tell you, see, I talked about the how to survive in the Nigerian economy, strategies for making, managing, and multiplying your income. Let me tell you something. When you earn your income, that percentage that goes to your savings, save it in dollars. Are you listening to what I'm saying? Take it. Immediately you earn it. Just take out the percentage that you want to save. Go and save it in dollars. Immediately. See, maybe you don't know how to save in dollars. Maybe you are the one that thinks that the only way to save in dollars is to open a domiciliary account. That one they will bill you, and the billing will be in dollars. There are cheaper ways to save in dollars. This seminar is not about that. But one of the cheapest ways to save in dollars for me is to use a cryptocurrency and just buy USDT and put them. So this is what I recommend you do. Immediately, to earn the money, just the enter. Just take out the percentage that you want to save and put it in what? Put it in what? Type in the comment section. Put it in what? People are not typing as fast as I'm thinking. DRT, yeah, you know. Let me be seeing as I'm saying you are dropping it. Let me be seeing the energy. Yeah.
Put it in dollars.
Thank you. Thank you. Put it in dollars. So this is exactly what you should be doing once you earn your income. And then when you have put money in dollars, the next thing you need to do is find a way to earn an income in dollars. Find one way to earn in dollars. It doesn't matter whether you are publishing and selling on Amazon KTP. It doesn't matter whether you are selling a digital course. It doesn't matter whether you are selling a training program. It doesn't matter whether you are anything you can do to make sure you are earning some income in dollars. See, the first one is the hardest. To figure out the first way to earn legitimately in dollars might stress you out a bit, but when you figure out one, whether it is that you are selling your service and your skill on Upwork, on Fiverr, and clients are paying in dollars, whether it is that you are selling your skills on LinkedIn, like some people do, and clients are paying in dollars, whether you are outsourcing and putting your content and people are paying you, you know, whatever you do that you figure out a way to earn dollars. That first one might be the hardest, but once you have been able to do it once, doing it again and rinsing and repeating and rinsing and repeating, it becomes easier. So once you figure out the first way you earn in dollars, go and figure out multiple ways to earn in dollars. Now let me tell you the real gist here. Nigerians are traveling abroad. Two of my colleagues in my office, they have traveled abroad. They don't japa. However, why do they travel abroad? Because they want to earn income in dollars, right? Now, the interesting thing here is that when you are abroad and you are earning in dollars, you are also spending in dollars. So the dollars doesn't really make that much meaning or sense. It's only when you come back to Nigeria and convert it to Naira that it begins to look big. You now say, I want to use this big money to go and do projects. You now go and buy a hotel. And you put the hotel out for lease and you are getting money from it. You make investment in real estate, make investments, buy shares. You know, you can do significant things because money looks big when you change it from dollar to Naira. But do you know when you are abroad, that dollar that you have is just normal dollar. You are still spending the same dollar. So in fact, Nigerians abroad, the only thing that they will be doing, they will be telling you once they get abroad, like the first 3 months, they will say, this book, $15, they will now convert it to Naira and say, it's very big. The money is because when you are earning in dollar and spending in dollar, if you look like you're spending big money because you are thinking with the Naira mentality. But do you know what is the real flex? When you are in Nigeria, living in Nigeria and earning in dollars, when you're not spending in dollars, but you're earning in dollars and spending in Naira, oh my God, that feeling is wonderful. Find a way to earn in dollars, one way. Then find multiple ways to do it. Am I making sense? Type making sense in the comment section. So, what did I say? The principle or the pattern is find what you earn in your Naira and save it in dollars so that you protect it from inflation. Number 2, Find a way to earn in dollars. This one is not saving in dollars now, it's earning in dollars. Don't worry, we will show you ways that you can earn in dollars. Then lastly, find multiple ways to do it. Chicken out. And you will be living in Nigeria, you will be thriving in Nigeria. They will say, dollar is now 950 per dollar, everybody will be shaking. You will be happy. Why are you happy? Because you know that money you save in dollars has just gone up. You will be happy because you know that money that is paying, that business that is paying you $100 every month, the money has just increased. You will be happy because you know that you have set up systems that are making your life easier. And the more the economy looks bad for other people, you will be like that person in the Bible that they said, when others are saying there's a casting down, you will be saying there is a what? A lifting up. That should be you. You should be thriving in this. See, when bad things happen, it's an opportunity for those who are smart. When they say this thing is now bad, you figure out a way that you make it work in your advantage. When people are shouting out, good government will favor me, you put yourself in the position where it can favor you, so that if it points from this angle, for you it will be a benefit. Am I making sense? I hope I am. All right, let us jump to the last part of multiplying money. We talked for nearly 1 hour, but I hope it's been a meaningful 1 hour for you as it has been for me. Now, investment, ladies and gentlemen, write this down, is the only way that you can multiply your money. See, even if you go and start a big business, even if you went to go and establish a factory, that money you put into establishing that factory is an investment. So investment is the only way to multiply your income. Hello? Find good investment. Let me tell you one thing that happens to Nigerians. Nigerians are of the opinion, they don't understand investment. And that's why tonight I'm going to define investment for you, so that you will understand what an investment is and what it is not. Nigerians always think all those things they tell you, $200, you get $200 in 2 days. That's an investment. You will hear them say something like, I did one investment, you see just crashed. Nigeria did not do investment. Yeah, you didn't even do investment. Not to talk of investment. So let us define what an investment is, so that you will know what it is not. An investment, ladies and gentlemen, is using your money to buy something that will increase in value over time. So investment is value over time. Where's my pen? I have a pen here somewhere. Let me write it out for you very boldly so that you will see what an investment is. Investment is value over time. So I can call it investment is value. Oh my goodness, nobody's going to see this. Let me try. Will this help? It makes it worse. Value multiplied by time. Value times time. That's what an investment is. Let me type it in here. Value times time. Okay. Okay, let me use this. So I'm going to handwrite that. Investment is only wow. Okay, I'm using this for the first time. It's going to be a bit tricky, but I can scale down like this. I can write value. Where did it go? Wow. Okay, so this technology is a bit different from Bal and Blue as some people will see. Let us just present. So let us not write. Okay, maybe when I'm understanding it a little bit better, then I will probably write. All right, guys. Investment is value over time. You get it. Let me not bother stressing you with having to illustrate it. Now, what people tell you that's not an investment, they will tell you, come, we found something. When you put 100, you get 200 in 2 days. In other words, they are promising you value, but they are taking away the factor of time. That is not an investment. It is a Ponzi scheme. Run, oh, because your capital, they are playing with it. They want to steal from you. See, there's a proliferation of Ponzi schemes very close to the end of the year, every single year. Once the year is coming to an end, you will see people just start. This one is should I mention the names of those Ponzi schemes that are currently on? Should I don't know. Let me not say it now, and they will come after me. They will say, hey, it's not a Ponzi scheme, because the people that are doing Ponzi scheme and getting paid from it, they will always defend it till the day it dies. They'll tell you it's a genuine platform and it will crash. They will even still be telling you that it's a new platform. Don't worry, we'll soon come back. You know, because that stayed there once, they want to swear with their life blood that that is genuine. It's not genuine. Somebody programmed the calculator. You'll be seeing figures are going up on the website. Somebody programmed that thing. Let's not talk much about that. Let's not dwell on it. So there is the factor of time. You cannot absent it from the process of investment. When they bring an investment opportunity to you, make sure you see how the money is being made. And if the money being made is too big, run, because there is no investment that can be paying you 2% per day, for example. Because if you compound on 2% per day for 6 years, you'll be making like the GDP of America. How is that possible? You are still not doing nothing, you're not producing any value, and they are telling you it's not going to anything. Run, it's a Ponzi scheme. Am I making sense? Some of you are here in this meeting tonight, and I don't know what you came here expecting to find. Maybe you expected that you are going to find the silver bullet. That when I just give you now, you just sit down and do twice, and then money just go everywhere. No, I'm telling you practical strategies that you can use to change your mind about unlearn some of the negative things that you have learned about money that is keeping you where you are financially. Are we together? Yes, type together in the chat box if we are together. Now, investment is value over time. And now there are different types of investments. All right, there are different types of investments. Let us quickly do this. Just see if we can simulate this and get back to where we should be in the presentation. Okay. I don't know what's happening. Oh, I think I know what's happening. This thing moved to the wrong place. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Sorry guys, I see what happened to our slides. I put anyways, let me just zoom in and let's see what I can do. So we are here. There are different kinds of investment. I hope you can see my screen. We have stocks, we have bonds. I'm not going to go much on them, I'm just going to list them. Stocks are past ownership in companies. We have bonds, government bonds. We have real estate. I don't think I need to illustrate that one too much. Mutual funds, commodity, annuity, option. And there is the investment most people don't talk about enough, the investment in knowledge. Ladies and gentlemen, when you invest in knowledge, see, I don't compromise on investing in knowledge. I have a book here by James Allen. It says, mind is the master. This book is big, it's very big. I've been reading this book. In fact, you read it and you come back again, and there is always something to find. It is a huge guide that talks a lot about the mind as a tool that you need to develop. I have another book here. Where did I drop that one? My front of me is the library. I have another book here, The Startup of You by Reid Hoffman. And it's a wonderful book about how you reinvent yourself and see yourself as a nimble startup. Okay, so I have these books, I read these books because I need to reprogram my mind. Do you know why? Because I know that when my mind is sound, the thoughts I think are stellar. When I do not see lack, instead of I see problems as opportunity, I will become the kind of person that can create value. And that same mind that I am buying all these books, I'm putting the knowledge here. I am putting my money, I'm putting my money into my mind. At the end of the day, my mind is going to put back resources in my pocket. So investing in knowledge, you never lose. Because that knowledge will invest back in your pocket. Please, write it down somewhere. It takes money to make money. So when you have money and you invest it, you are making money out of it. Sometimes investing that in your head is also something you need to do. It's called building capacity. It's called building capacity. If I tell you what building capacity is the reason why if Michael Jackson performs a show, They will pay him way more than somebody else who comes and looks like him, dances like him, and even sings like him. They don't pay that person the way they will pay Michael Jackson, because Michael Jackson has an identity. What's the identity? The capacity he has built over the years. That he is Michael Jackson, that identity already commands value. If you embrace capacity building to the extent that your name alone commands value, do you know how much? Do you really want to determine your price? Do you understand? Please, if you understand, try to understand in the chat box. I don't understand. I don't know if people are following the way I'm saying it.
We are following.
Thank you so much for that feedback. Now, investing in knowledge.
Following.
And these investments are vehicles that determine your income. Let me talk a bit about vehicles. Let me talk a bit about vehicles. Okay. I want to talk about vehicles for your income. The vehicles for your income are not the vehicles you drive. It's not your BMW. It's not your Toyota. It's not your, which other one, Mercedes. The vehicles are what brings you your money. Anything that brings your money to you is a vehicle. And I want to tell you something. Some people are in the wrong vehicle. The reason you are not making enough money is because your vehicle cannot bring it for you. Let me illustrate something. You see, God said, I will bless the work of your hands. God is a very loving Father. He wants to bless you. You in particular, he has this in mind to make you a multi-millionaire in dollars. Yes, because he can do it. Your father does not lack anything, but it's you that is the problem. Why? When your father wants to bless you a multi-million naira blessing, you know what you come with? You come with a bucket, a cup that cannot contain the blessing that he has to give you. And when he pours the blessing like this, everything goes through away. And the one way your cup still carry, you will still carry from us. You will not be seeing the blessing because you did not bring enough to collect from it. God's blessing is like the rain, unlimited. But what is your drum? And what can it contain? That is the question you should ask yourself. What capacity have you built? Let me give you an example. Say you work as a civil servant, and in your civil service, they have told you that if you don't stay for 3 years, they will not do promotion. And even after that 3 years, they don't do promotion. Your salary increase is like 10,000 naira. You're not praying, God bless me, God bless me. In that job, in that vehicle, if God's blessing for you was a multi-million naira blessing, will you manifest in that vehicle? Answer me. He can never, except you want to steal. You want to use Gyro to sign and collect money that is not your own. And you want to discredit your God-given reputation and image because of money. Like some people are doing in the name of internet fraud. They want to drive the latest cars. They want to do nonsense to get money. They want to do even ritual. Can you imagine? Like, can you imagine? Somebody will kill somebody else. You will value money more than a life, and you take the life to get money. Like, I don't understand. Let's discuss this thing. These things are reality. In the Nigerian economy, people are doing these things because they want to. And yet, they still don't know the problem. They don't even have wealth. All they can have is riches. Wealth is something that transfers from generation to generation, and what they can get. Riches, only that individual will be rich, and when he dies, the thing ends with only him. The generation is not impacted. The generation is not impacted. How can somebody use maybe your manhood now, or your mother or your father to do money? And at the end of the day, only you enjoy the money, and you cannot have children because of what you have done. You cannot marry, you cannot do anything. So at the end of the day, you die. Nothing, no legacy. Your family, everything else with you. And you call that a life? When people are building generational wealth, when John D. Rockefeller is building generational wealth, and he did not have to do rituals for it. Come on now. It's the knowledge. When you don't have anything here, when there is nothing, that's when you think you can, that those things are ways to make money. They are not. What is that? Come on. Like, how is that even helpful to anybody? And yet, some people think, in fact, some people are being told that that is what they should do. We have places where people are being trained on how to do nonsense to make money. Like making money. We have never talked about multiplying it. It's just to make money. I think making money is the end of the whole thing. See, if I am talking to you, sometimes I sound very harsh. Sometimes I sound like, it's too ideal. But certain things need to be said because they need to be said. Because we are living in Nigeria, we are seeing the mess. Look, I currently have a badge. This is from a gunshot wound. People saw me as somebody doing well, and they came and they shot me to collect what they thought I had. And see, the funny thing about somebody that is the best is that you don't go see money with us. You won't find it. You won't find money because the money is always somewhere doing something. In fact, let me tell you something. It is a mistake to spend the money that you make from your sweat. It's a financial sin, according to one of my mentors. So spend the money you make from sweat. Rather, that money you should invest it and then spend what you get as returns on that investment. You can write that down somewhere. So the vehicle is very, very important. If you are a janitor and you work every day of the month, active income. Remember we talked about how you make money, active income. You have to perform the activity, and at the end, your salary is nothing to write home about. You cannot even cater to your expense. How do you expect that vehicle to manifest the blessing that God has for you? What do? Build capacity so that you can get into a bigger vehicle. So that when people tell you about an opportunity that can give you $1 million in a space of a short period of time, genuinely, not the one that you go and pass corner and you cannot raise your head in the place where noble men are gathered. When you hear of those things, when you have not built capacity in your mind cannot understand, you cannot resonate in that frequency. You will call it scam. But build capacity, invest in knowledge, learn about stocks, learn about investing in different asset categories. Go and learn. Because there's so much you don't know. And what you don't know is the reason why you think that certain things are impossible for you. The more you know, the easier your life will become. I've said certain things here that if you were smart, you would be writing them down. The more you know, the easier your life will become. People pay for knowledge. Some people pay for access to people that have knowledge. I would not, in fact, some of the money you saw me spend that last month was investment in knowledge. I had to pay for a certain access to a community where knowledge on wealth creation is being shared. And it cost me a lot of money to get into that community. I had to pay certain amount of prices that you pay. See, pay the price today so that you can pay any price tomorrow. You can write that down somewhere. We've talked a lot tonight. Let me round up quickly. So vehicles are very important. Now, when you are choosing a vehicle, look for all these variables. What is the problem that the vehicle is solving? Problem, the solution that it's providing, the market it is servicing, the profitability of that market, and the scalability of that market. Hello? Problems are where money is resident. When you solve problems, that's how you make money. So you must look for the problems that that vehicle is solving. Then the solutions is providing. Are they novel? Are they innovative? Are they the only ones with the proprietary technology? What market are they servicing? What is the profitability of their market? When you think about the vehicle with these variables, then you begin to know, am I in the right vehicle or am I in the wrong vehicle? If your service, for example, is cleaning a building, what is the problem you are solving? You are solving the problem of dirty in the environment. So you are doing sanitation. And you are providing the solution of sweeping by yourself with your own time. You are not even leveraging, say you start a company and you hire people. You are working on the basis of your own time and you are doing only what your hand can do. That vehicle is too small now. You cannot make money there. You cannot make enough money there. Then your market is there. Maybe your market is you are cleaning for organizations. You have an agency. That one will be making more sense than your market is. You go and clean somebody's car window. Somebody is just driving now. He stops in traffic lights. You just begin to wipe. You have to finish wiping. It is now on the basis of his good heart. He will now give you 100 naira. That is what you are doing every day. Say, God, how do you want to make money there? That's the vehicle that you want to use to get your money. Come on now. See, am I communicating? Is somebody understanding me? Is somebody resonating in my frequency? Are you understanding? Are you getting something from this? Are you waking up to certain things because of this? Anyways, like I have said, look for the problems that your vehicle is solving, the solutions you are providing, the market you are servicing, the profitability of that market, and how scalable that market is. Right, we've come to the end of the presentation. Now, very quickly, I want to make 2 recommendations. I happen to be the regional manager of Skyward Community Nigeria. And Skyward Community is a community of people who are supporting innovative technology. Currently, they are supporting the development of Unity Stream technology. It gives everybody the opportunity to become a co-owner of a multinational transport company that is going to take the transport market by storm. So if you invest here, you can go and sleep because your life is going to be very sweet. I'm talking about from 2025, you'll be balling. If you know what that means. Some of you here in this meeting are already co-owners of Unity Stream Technologies pre-IPO equity shares. I congratulate you. However, if you are not, after this meeting, rush me like today bread. Ask me how to become a co-owner so that I can put you through on that. Then, I also leverage an opportunity, a platform called Streakk. It has an ecosystem that is so well developed in the cryptocurrency space. They have their decentralized wallet for staking. They have their trading robot, which is very exceptional in the market, doing profits from 4 to 7% a month for customers. They have their 3rd generation blockchain technology, which is amazing. In fact, it's used for governments and financial institutions. So they service a market, they service a need. It's not a Ponzi scheme that you say, rob Peter to pay for. No, nothing like that nonsense happens there. So this is a very wonderful platform that I am also leveraging. One of the ways I earn money, and I get to earn dollars and ball in naira. So if you want to learn about that, rush me and ask me. If you have access, please rush me. Let me drop my WhatsApp number in the comment section so that if you don't know how to reach out to me, you will know. See, as you reach out to me, say the one that you are interested in, and I will give you details. That's my WhatsApp number I just dropped in the chat box. 0816062560. Ask me how to get started on any of these platforms, and I will show you how you can start earning in dollars and spending in naira. God bless you as you have joined me for this session tonight, and as you go back to your homes, begin to reflect on what we have discussed today, and begin to tell yourself that you will do better. And you know what you can also do? In our next meeting, bring somebody that you think needs this knowledge. So this meeting, let us educate them out of this financial mess. All right? If you will do that, type I will in the comment section. Let me see your commitments by your typing I will in the comment section, and then we can begin to say the closing prayer and close for tonight. Thank you all so much. You guys are wonderful. I see that we've had, my mom is in tonight's meeting. My sister is in tonight's meeting. Amazing. Mr. Jerry, wonderful young man that I met some time ago is in tonight's meeting. Mr. H.K. Daniel, thank you for joining me. Miss Wilfred, thank you so much for joining me. So God bless you all. Thank you so much. I see you're typing. I will. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm grateful that you will do that. And I also make a commitment that I will show up. I will show up here. I will do this meeting for us. And so the question is, if you will bring someone here to the next meeting that we will be having, such meeting where we will be discussing these things that we have just discussed here tonight to educate even more people, and you will bring them to the meeting, just type I will in the chat box. So I see a lot of people typing that, and I'm grateful for your commitment. God bless you, and thank you so much for tonight. And I will just say the closing prayer so that we can wrap up. Father in heaven, we thank you for your word of knowledge which has come to us tonight. We thank you for blessing us with strategies to make, multiply, and to manage our finances. Father, we ask that this knowledge should not fall to the ground without producing seed in our various financial lives. Father, may we be empowered to do better in our finances. In Jesus' mighty name, we have asked and prayed. Amen. Amen. Thank you, guys, and good night. God bless you.